Hello, I'm Evan Happel with Boss Talks, and this is a special episode of Boss Talks where we are going to dive into all things Apartmentalize. And this year, a great addition to Apartmentalize is the Affinity Group Pavilion, the first year that it's happened. And we have a great group here to explain exactly who they're going to represent in their groups and what they hope to achieve when it comes to spreading the word and letting people know that they have the opportunity to be a part of these groups, regardless of where they live. So it's going to be a really exciting time to do that. And I actually have Josh Gold from NAA here to explain a little bit more about that.
Hi there, Evan.
Thanks for being here, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
So if you could just explain how this came to be and what you're excited about getting this going this first year.
Sure thing. At the National Apartment Association, we try to be all things to all people, of course. We're a large federation of 141 regional and state apartment associations. And what we found was happening organically in our industry is that these other groups were cropping up to speak to the many diverse communities that are part of our patchwork of people who make up our fantastic industry. We first, I think, became aware of Melanin Multifamily, who's represented here today. They were showing up at our events and we were noticing them and seeing them participating, not just in NAA events, but doing their own events in conjunction with our events. And it was enhancing their membership experience. And that's really what my job is all about, is to ensure that our members are getting the most out of their membership, both on the national level as well as the state and regional level. So we last year had a conversation with a few of the groups and said, what if we could be more supportive in some way of these organizations? And the first sort of baby step in our involvement in affinity groups is to sponsor this Affinity Group Pavilion. We looked at the landscape of the multifamily industry and tried to find groups that were doing great things for niche communities within our industry and invited them to be part of our pavilion. So this year we have 6 organizations who are represented on your podcast here today who will be there to talk about their mission and vision of their organizations and how individual NAA members and non-members can be a part of their organizations and get to reap the benefits of the network that they provide.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome that you guys are providing that. And I'm sure as people get exposure, it'll only grow. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's our hope, is that groups will have the advantage of interacting with more than 12,000 attendees at Apartmentalize in Philadelphia next month, and that we'll also find other groups that are already established or are emerging in our industry who can also be part of this larger community of affinity groups.
Yeah. And what I think is really cool about it too is it's more of an organic outflow versus you guys trying to come up with the groups.
100%. And we love that too. We love that these groups spawn themselves. They created their own boards or governance structures. Some of them are very loosely organized. They're listservs or they exist primarily on LinkedIn. And some of them have face-to-face meetings and have boards and governance. Whatever works for them is what we want. We simply want to be supportive of them because, again, we believe that having these sort of groups that are of like background individuals or like-minded individuals really enhances their overall membership experience with the National Apartment Association.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for recognizing all those things and allowing this to happen because I think it's going to be a very positive thing for the industry. And I'm happy to help you guys announce it and be a part of it. Absolutely. All right, Steve, we're going to bring you into the fold and allow you to announce what your group is and what you guys are trying to do.
All right. Thank you very much for having us. It's ironic that I'm going first. This is at NAA. This is the first time for this, and my group is absolutely the newest of all the groups represented. I have 2 of my colleagues that are on this call are my mentors who have guided me to get to where I'm at right now. I am the founder of Once a Warrior. I am a affinity group for veterans in the multifamily space. I'm from the supplier side. I have big dreams for this affinity group. I want it to service management companies, also to be able to provide insight as to what makes a veteran employee different than a regular employee. And one of the neat things about it is my group encompasses all the other groups. Somebody can be a member of all their groups, still be a veteran, still join me, still have some fun on my end. I have a big announcement to make when I'm at NAA. I've partnered with, I won't say it yet, but I partnered with somebody to be the benefactor of any money we might raise to help with homelessness amongst veterans, specifically on if a veteran is getting evicted, some assistance there. So that'll be covered more at NAA. I'm excited about it. One thing you'll know about veterans is we're very community oriented and we like to serve. So I'm starting right out of the gate with something we can serve and help others with. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. And so Once a Warrior is the group, and you are going to be in the pavilion in Philadelphia coming in June.
Correct. I'm looking
Awesome.
forward to it.
And I know some people in the group here are also veterans. I know at least Joe Ellis. So I'm assuming that's one of the people.
And Monica have held my hand, kicked me, prodded me, done whatever is needed to get me to where I am right now. I'm very thankful for it. I have probably the best group of people possible guiding me through this. I couldn't have done any of this myself. I just happened to be the veteran that was on a call with Monica that they volunteered me to do this, and it's been a fun ride. So
that's awesome. It still took your initiative in actually following through. So it is an awesome thing for you to do that. And I know it's an over and beyond your daily job. So it's great.
Yeah, I wanted to add that I think everybody needs to know this is our side gig. This is a side hustle for all of us. We have real jobs. Monica can vouch. My real job, I bug her a lot with. But yeah, we're all tied to the industry, but at the same time, we're working 50, 60 hours on our real stuff. And then this is stuff we do in our part-time whenever we can squeeze it in.
Yeah.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah. I love that you added that, but also just appreciate your efforts in getting this going, Steve. And thanks for sharing.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, next up, we got Justin Jones. If you could tell us your group and what you're trying to achieve here this year in Philadelphia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Jones. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm the founder of Multifamily Q Space. And this is a safe, brave space for members of the queer community, LGBTQIA, and of course, our allies. We're really excited to go to Philadelphia this year, and we're so encouraged by the invitation from Josh and the NAA to participate because it's an opportunity, like he said, to be in front of 12,000 of our colleagues. There's a Gallup poll out there that says about 7.2 of us identify as some sort of, queer personality, if you will. So that's 800 of you going to NAA this year could probably identify as a member of the Multifamily Q Space. And then the rest of you, unsure or completely not aligned, could easily be our allies. So at the end of NAA, I guess my goal is 12,000 members. And I think Steve said it great. Steve said you can be a veteran and be in the other groups. I'd like to say that intersectionality lives incredibly healthily in the Multifamily Q Space because you can be a member of other groups and be a member of the Q Space. I think intersectionality is one of the great privileges of being a part of Q Space and being a queer leader because I see how diverse and how many different stories come together and align in LGA plus and all the amazing letters we have. And though we are aligned, we are extremely different. I think that's the other cool thing that NAA is bringing to the table is our differences. Because I think we've evolved from saying we're all the same. Actually, the amazing leaders you see here on this webinar right now are saying, yes, but to Steve's point, a veteran employee is magical and different and unique in this way. I'd say your queer employees, your queer clients are different, unique, and magical in this specific way. And for the Q Space to come just as an affinity group is really powerful because we're just saying, hey, come join us. Come join us on LinkedIn. Come join us on Revise. Have these dialogues with us. Perhaps in a few years, we'll find a way to create more social impact, create a nonprofit. But for right now, let's just have a lunch table to sit at, talk about queer things from pop culture to societal norms to helping benefit each other. And then maybe eventually we'll take over the world. But right now, it's just about joining and it's just about showing up. And with the good graces of NAA and the amazing leaders you see here, I feel empowered to do just that.
Awesome. And I hope you find all the people that are those allies and people that identify with your group this year in Philadelphia. It's really awesome that you've given this opportunity to do that. So thanks, Justin, for getting that going.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Next up is Joellis. I think we just keep on connecting. I don't know. This
Listen, Evan, I think I'm going to have to become your co host at one point. I don't know. But it is an honor to be here, not only with you and Boss Talks that are very dear to my heart, but with each of the people here in this forum. I think that, and I'm going to speak a little bit for Monica and I, this is like full circle for us. We've seen our fruit of our labor, our hard work just finally be recognized a little and accepted. And I would have to say that feels really special in my heart. I do want to thank Josh for this opportunity. This is a big thing for us, and it wouldn't be possible if those conversations hadn't happened. And I also have to extend a big thank you to Monica and Melanin because they paved that way and they made sure that they were seen and heard. And I'm truly just really overcome and appreciative of all these amazing individuals. I cannot tell you just the supportive environment that we're in really does take us to that next level. So I wanted to start off with that. Secondly, Latinas in property management will be at NAA this year. Super excited. It is our first year there. And we really just believe in fostering that supportive environment where networking and mentoring are at the heart of our journey. And we're motivated by the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we really just strive to create opportunities that break down barriers and open doors for the Latina talent to really thrive in all types of leadership positions. And much like Steve said, this is a hard work. It comes from our heart. We all have 9 to 5s and then some, plus families, plus everything else. But it really is a passion project because we want to see our community thrive and just be there for support.
Can you tell us? I know you've been established here for about is it a year?
A year already. Could you believe that?
Okay. How many members do you guys have so far?
Right now, we have 125 members.
Awesome.
And we obviously expect to grow that in NAA. We have started to become nationwide. So our members are all the way from New Jersey. We have people in Ohio and Texas. And a little sneak peek, some of these people are going to be with us at the pavilion. So we have people from New York coming just because they love our group so much and they're so willing to represent what our mission and our purpose is that they're taking the time to travel and taking the time from that their busy schedules and participate with us. So that really speaks volumes at the work that we're doing, at the work that the group is doing, that the ladies that are in it, they're really putting their heart and soul and they're building a community where we are truly uplifting each other.
Awesome. And one thing I want to just point out, which I think is awesome, is Dina Hendry. She was on as a guest on Boss Talks just a few weeks ago. And she was apprehensive to initially join the advisory board just because she grew up, yes, she is Latina, but she didn't necessarily grow up in culture necessarily in the same way as some other people, and even learning Spanish and stuff. So can you speak to that, where people may be kind of like apprehensive to join the group because of those type of dynamics?
Of course. And much like the other spaces, we also have allyship, right? I know that the title is Latinas in Property Management, but I want everyone to understand that this is a group of women that have gotten together and wanting to make a change, wanted to support each other. It doesn't matter if you speak the language, if you were raised with a very cultural, heavy Hispanic atmosphere. We just truly want you to feel like you are supported, like you are accepted for exactly who you are. And I think that's the biggest message that we really try to convey to all of our membership. And much like the other groups, we have allies. So we're lucky enough to partner with Tempest Roofing, that is not a Hispanic type of company, but they're willing to put the money where the mouth is and they're willing to show up for us and just really be an ally. Real Floors is another one that does that for us. We have a number of allies that truly just show up for us, and that means more sometimes than the members, right? Because it's the allies that it's allyship that we need in order for us to move forward.
Absolutely. Joelis, I am so excited for you and hope, again, just like everybody else, that your group continues to grow.
I appreciate you, Evan. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Monica Frazier.
Hello. Thank you for having us, Evan.
Absolutely. And thanks for being here yet again on Boss Talks. We had the privilege of speaking. It's been a while now, but I also got to finally meet you. I guess I've met you a few times in person, but we got to spend time together here in Washington State. when you were visiting and speaking. So that was awesome.
Definitely.
So could you tell us what your group is and also what your goals are for NAA this year?
Sure. So, hello, everyone. My name is Monica Frazier. I'm the founder of Melanin Multifamily. We are a collective of Black professionals with a shared and specific interest in building up melanated multifamily professionals through networking, resources, development, and ultimately providing psychological safety by providing safe spaces to discuss experiences. So, what that means is we are spread across the country through the suppliers, the property management companies, whatever you want to call it, consultants, we're everywhere, in the respect that we're trying to make sure that other members are being seen within their associations or organizations, and they find a place where they can ask the questions that maybe they can't in certain areas, or look for leadership trajectory and understand the pathways that are available to them, or simply just have a conversation and know that there is somebody out there in the industry that looks like them. So we do that through national meetings and all this fun stuff. But our goal at NAA, one, is to make some noise, bring some visibility to our organization and the opportunities that lie within it, and provide opportunities to speak with the leaders of our groups so that others can see that there are many pathways of success for them. And of course, as everyone mentioned, I'm a proponent for everybody, and I super support the idea that different affinity groups can be a part of this. So we hope to also showcase others. And just what Steve said, many of our members could also be in other groups, Afro-Latinas, those who identify as LGBTQIA+, those who are veterans, right? So we look to support the other groups as well and this camaraderie. So I'm so excited for NAA this year to see these things come to life, to breathe life into the membership, and to answer some of the questions that a lot of members that didn't get answered, they're going to get answered this year. And it's going to be really awesome to have that visibility. So thank you so much to Josh and really anyone who's been a part of my journey and continue to give back and support the others. So excited.
It's been a privilege to get to know you and to have a lot of your members on Boss Talks. And I just continue to just love to be a part of your group and be an ally and to be supportive of all you guys. Could you tell us how many people have become members to date and how spread you guys are?
Sure. So we represent over 20 states right now. We have over, I'll say 100 plus members and even more allies. So we do that through connecting through our social medias. We have events in tandem with the NAA events. So we, again, can highlight the engagement and get folks involved. But we've got a good group. So definitely stop by our booth and meet some of our members. We have an advisory board as well, and we're here to support any way we can.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing and thanks for being here.
Of course. Thank you.
And then we got Rafael, and you are the co-founder of Hispanos in Multifamily, which is an offshoot of sorts to Joe Ellis's group. And maybe you can explain also your relationship with Joe Ellis.
First off, thank you, Evan, for having me here today. Joelle is actually my wife. This is an offshoot of the Latinas in Multifamily. Again, the Latinas is namely for women. And I wanted to come off something on the side for the men as well. Hispanos in Multifamily, or as I like to go by the acronym HIM, H-I-M. It was formed more so for the advancement of the Hispanic men in the multifamily community. Being someone who's out there consistently on the road, I work for Real Fortis. I'm an account executive for them. So I'm continuously 10 to 12 properties at least a day, running into maintenance men left and right, leasing professionals as well. And the one thing I consistently run into is tenured individuals who have 8, 10, 12 plus years at the same position. And when asked about advancement or advancement opportunities, some of the first things out their mouth is someone like me can't be up there. Or everyone on our corporate side is no one looks like me. And what's disappointing, because I come from a background where just moving up in advancement is the way to life, and that's the only way to really succeed. And if you don't have the tools, or you feel you don't have the attributes, and some people just don't have the skill level to advance and have those opportunities to do so, you're really just held back. So the group more so is just to help people, namely Hispanic men, let them know that there are advancement opportunities. There are opportunities outside of their local associations. There are national level. There are many different things that they can do to just move ahead and not stay stagnant at that one position and just better themselves ultimately. Whether it's a language barrier, whether it's something that they just can't quite understand, whether it's maybe licenses, whatever the case may be, Latinos and Hispanos and multifamily, that's what we're here to help facilitate and to push forward for all our Hispanic individuals.
That's awesome. And I know you guys are just getting going. Have you guys had any opportunities to have any gatherings or anything yet?
So we haven't had any gatherings for the men's side yet. I think our first big hurrah will be at NAA, which I'd like to thank Josh as well. Incredible opportunity, and I appreciate it very much. But at NAA, we will be represented by myself as well as a couple other board members. We will have board members on the supplier side as well as individuals who are on site, community managers. There will be maintenance guys there. So there will be a couple guys out there just to give an all around, so that sometimes you come up to someone and you might not quite relate to them because of just stature. I'm a maintenance guy, I'm a low level tech, I'm coming into meeting a regional. And that's where we want to create that, or fix that separation, I should say, and allow that communication to be more fluid and just more acceptable for all of us.
That's awesome. No, and I love all of this, you guys, because I think honestly it embodies really the point of why Boss Talks exists, in the sense of I want to give everybody the opportunity and the platform to speak about why they're a boss. But I also want to encourage people to see that they're a boss. So having people representing and with people that they identify with helps them to see, okay, I can advance. I can
Definitely.
be successful in this industry with how I identify, or the group that I just was born into. Like
Definitely.
sometimes we're just born into a group, but we need representation at all levels. So I think that's fantastic. Thanks for
sure.
sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. And then Josh, if there's anything, final thoughts or anything about Apartmentalize and what's coming up in
Well,
Philly, we'd love to hear.
I'd love to get a plug in, Evan. We're headed for one of our largest gatherings ever. If you're missing us in Philly, you're really missing out. There are still a couple weeks left to register and get your travel set. There's still hotel rooms available. So come and join us in Philly. It warms my heart to see all these folks on this call today. This is sort of a pet project for me, and so I'm really excited to see this come all to fruition. So join them in the Affinity Pavilion, which will be located outside Hall D of the expo hall. It's really easy to find and it'll be well marked. Have some conversations with people who are either part of your community or with whom community you'd like to integrate with. And I'm sure they'd love to have those conversations with you. Again, Evan, thank you so much for the venue for us to have this conversation and for us to promote the Affinity Pavilion and Apartmentalize 2024. And we'll see you in Philadelphia.